Dan, the season's been over for about a week, so you've had some time to digest how things went. When you look back on the 2009 season, what were you happiest about in terms of the team?
Sure, I think team cohesiveness and team unity. We had 16 new players introduced to our program, so it was definitely something we were concerned about at the beginning, melding those two groups together, the returners and the new players. Worked out very well, so certainly very pleased with how the first-year students and the returning students melded together, came together as a unit.
I noticed offensively, I guess in terms of team speed, it really seemed to hit a point in the season where that improved.
No question, and I think once you get on the same page mentally, once you get on the same page tactically, you're going to see an improvement in the speed of play, no question. People are going to be running off the ball, others are going to be recognizing that they're doing that, and they're going to be rewarded with a return pass. So I think that's great that was seen not only by myself in training, but by people there watching and observing the games.
Indeed, very apparent, very apparent. But coaches are, of course, by nature driven to always wanting to improve things. What does this team still need to work on?
I think consistency of performance is the #1 area. We played, I think our final record of 10 wins and 10 losses was indicative of our play overall, that we played fantastically well in certain matches, and even for several matches in a row, then we underperformed in individual matches or a couple of matches in a row. And once we are able to gain consistency across the board with our performance, we will do very well, and I believe that double-digit wins is excellent, but even looking to improve upon that, I think that will come with consistency of performance.
That's an interesting point. So let's look back at the season. Are there games that stand out in your memory or your mind as being indicative of those highs and lows?
No question. I believe that our game here against St. Ben's, although it was a 1-0 loss in double overtime with about 2 minutes left in the second overtime, we went down. I felt that was our strongest performance of the year, from opening whistle until the sudden end of that overtime. We played exceptionally well. I think on the flip side, our performance at Hamline University, we underperformed, and that was from pregame warm-up through the final whistle. Just didn't have our legs, didn't have the proper mentality, and it showed in the result in that game. So the highs and lows of the season right there, I think.
Okay, interesting, very interesting. It's the off season now. How will you and Scott Turnbull, your assistant, how do you spend your time now?
Sure. Right now, our real focus is on, #1, having individual meetings with the women on the team to wrap up the season, give them feedback on where we felt they began the season, where we felt they ended the season, and what our expectations are for them in the off season, preparing for our spring 7-versus-7 tournament, as well as preparing for next fall. Recruiting will be the second most important on that list, and we've had a large number. We've had about a dozen young women visit the campus so far. We hope to have another 6 to 8 visit before the long holiday winter break. We will look to have young women come in after that break as well. So recruiting is a real emphasis for us. We will be going to senior games. We will be going to high schools and young women's homes to speak with them. So for ourselves, busy times.
Still
even
busy.
though the day-to-day training sessions are not taking place, we certainly will be actively busy looking to improve our team for the future.
Right. And though you don't have direct contact with your players in the off season, you know, as is mandated, how do they tend to spend their time, as far as you know?
Sure. We really encourage the women on the team to get involved in the intramural programs on campus. We really encourage them. We have several young women that are interested in theater, are interested in community service activities. We say absolutely engage yourself in those activities, get involved. So we have nothing formal at all as far as weightlifting or training. Some of the women will get together and they'll go into one of the racquetball courts, or they'll go out on the basketball court and they'll kick a ball around. That's purely and simply up to the individuals if they would like to do that. Starting after spring break in March, we will begin our spring training at that time. This year we're going to phase in some weightlifting along with our training at that time to help people improve physically.
All right, excellent. Well, a 10-10 record, but that was a very spirited team, and as you said, 16 new players also means 16 people coming back, so good things ahead for Morris Soccer.
No question, and I appreciate all of your support at the games and great observations.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Take care.